Hey everyone, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Today is a special day because I was able to lure one of my favorite Patriot girls away from her busy load down in Yancey and Mitchell County. And I have Stephanie Johnson, who is very familiar with the Hope for Survival family. And we had her on our Hope for Survival Zoom last week, and I thought it was important to get her over to YouTube uh, to tell her story of what has been happening in Yancey and Mitchell County. A lot of folks think that because it's not on the news that the Hurricane Helene relief is finished, and it's nowhere close to finished. They need everyone's help, and that's why I have Stephanie here so she can tell us the story, uh, and we can support her the best we can for her needs. So, Stephanie, thank you again for giving up time to join us. Um, we're
Thank you so
blessed.
much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, it's you're finally getting, not that you want it, but you're finally getting some outside uh, contacts that have a huge outreach to help in this heavy lift that continues. If you could tell us kind of a little bit for those that don't know you, shame on y'all for not knowing Stephanie, but she has awesome real estate videos, by the way. We love it when she jumps out of her Hummer and goes wading through the creek on her way to show a house.
Those are the good days. Those
Yeah,
are those are the days that made me do exactly what we're doing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been blessed that in some way or fashion that we could help those that needed help. So if you would kind of start us and tell us uh, how you kind of got into this, back to the big parking lot day, and where you've been, where you're at, and where you're going.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
So, my name is Stephanie Johnson, and I live in Yancey County, and my real estate office is in Mitchell County. So, before the storm, I sell real estate here, and that's actually how we met. So, some of my favorite clients have always been preparedness-minded clients, and so I would make marketing videos and show folks the beautiful remote mountains of Western North Carolina, and I would go to prepper conventions and different gatherings that we had, and that's how we met. And now I look back at that time and I think, wow, God was exactly introducing me to people that I needed to know who would come forward and help me, in what was coming. And that's when I just think that's so cool. So I love how we met, and how our preparedness community really prepared me and my family to be able to respond and react in and after during Hurricane Helene. So right after the storm, we're in Yancey, and that is the most devastated since the storm. Like, we got hit the worst. We had over, I think it was like 30.5 inches of rain, over 200 landslides. We had 7,000 structures damaged or destroyed, and 1,500 of those are homes.
Mm.
And so the devastation here has been catastrophic, like a war zone. And this is my favorite place in the world. And so I really was deeply affected. My heart was completely shattered to see all my favorite places and all my favorite people experience such devastation. And so early on, as soon as we were able to cut our way out of our holler, which took about 3 days, we started handing out food in the Roses parking lot. So it just started with basic stuff, what we had in our pantry. And then my friends started coming from Cabarrus County. You came, Jane and Bill came, Doug came. So many people came to help us. And so we went in the last year and a half. What started as just a basic supply distribution hub has evolved into a full blown nonprofit that is focused on building materials and supplies and helping our neighbors get their homes, lives, businesses, churches, and farms rebuilt. So it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is, and it's for those that have followed along your journey. it is incredible to see how it grew from the parking lot days out in the inclement weather. Uh, so many folks lined up with needs, and just amazing how individuals who got impacted and those outside the impact area were lined up with trailers, bringing in the basic first step needs, food, water, shelter, and protection from the elements. But shortly after this disaster hit, you immediately had to transition from the first days into winter.
Yeah. Well, we were really blessed the first couple weeks with really good weather, no rain, anything for fall. The first couple weeks, like all the rain came in 3 days, and then there was no rain for probably about 3 weeks. But then the temperature dropped and it got really cold really fast. It snowed on us in the parking lot, and that was hard. And cold. And then we went from the parking lot to a warehouse, and then the warehouse was very cold. So it was definitely a lot of struggles. And in those days, we were just trying to get people heat sources, power sources, campers, because we have hundreds of people that needed campers because their home was destroyed, their bridge to their home was destroyed, their home was hit by a landslide. Like the needs and the amount of people impacted has been significant. And so we've tried to evolve every step of the way with them, what they need, and then make sure that we're meeting those needs.
And some folks may not realize, but the initial needs, you started providing them out to folks, but uh, in with this initial part of it, then some realities of so many folks lost their jobs. So you not only had folks that didn't have food or water, they didn't have shelter. Many lost their transportation.
Yeah.
Many lost their jobs. So basically, if you will, they really didn't have legs to stand on. Now, I know a lot of them reached out and they were volunteering time to help other people, but so many of them, it's like, where do I turn when
Right.
everything around me is destroyed?
Destroyed. Yeah. We've had so many small businesses receive also, catastrophic damage. And rural Yancey and Mitchell County, small businesses, that's what makes our world go round. I had my contractor's home was destroyed. My block mason's home was destroyed. So many people lost everything. And so it's hard to rebuild from that. It's hard for them to get it. Yeah, how do you start? Where do you start? And then you don't have any income.
Yeah.
And that has been, and it still is a real problem here. Our small businesses are struggling really hard. I mean, it is. I talked to one today going, Steph, since they had COVID and then they had Helene, and business is just so bad,
Yeah.
and so it's like a steady, what they feel like is failure.
Well, one of the things that you have been doing and continue to do, which is commendable, is as you continue your efforts in this rebuild of the two counties, and we're not just talking about building sandboxes, we're putting in foundations and walls and so on and so forth, which takes money.
Mhm.
But you are making it a priority to take donations from all different sources and then reinvest them in your community, buying resources that's rebuilding homes and foundations from your people.
That's right. So it's really important that as we raise money, we are hiring local contractors. We have the workforce here to rebuild. We have incredible people, but they have to be able to make money to go to work,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so after a storm, so many people come from outside the area to do the work, but ultimately, economically, that seriously affects our guys,
yeah,
and the cost of construction is more expensive because the people coming in from out of town, they have to have lodging. They have to, they're
yeah.
they're going, they're not here, and they won't be here when we're done rebuilding. And so it is our commitment to strictly hire locals, and then they manage everything about our rebuild. And then I buy all of our materials locally as well. We have a great partnership with Summit Building Supply, which is the best old timey lumber yard ever. And so we have an escrow account there, and projects, can go there and get their materials. We have a system set up, and so that's been really good, and it just keeps everybody working together.
So how many a WAG assessment? Uh, how many structures did you lose?
Well, there were 7,000 just in Yancey and Mitchell that were damaged or destroyed, and 1,500 of those were homes. Now, Yancey had a lot of business loss, and a lot of trees, fell through houses and things like that. On our project list, we have 585 projects that have requested help. And that goes from anything to they needed a water filtration system, they need a roof, they needed septic repair, foundation repair, a whole house, half a house, just all kinds of different levels of what people needed. Sometimes they, just needed shingles. If I bought the shingles, they could pay for the labor, or, vice
Right.
versa. So it's everything. Sometimes it's just a toilet. Sometimes it's just the plumbing for the spring. It's completely all over the place with
How
what
many
people needed.
how many of these facilities, home or business, how many of them were impacted by the loss of bridges?
We had over 300 bridges lost,
That's
and
incredible.
and and still all of our main bridges that held are still seriously destroyed, seriously impacted. And they'll go patch another pothole because ultimately the structure is failing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of when you come onto a bridge, so the approach to the bridge, most of those washed out on even our huge 4-lane bridges. And so they just went in and backfilled that and paved over it. I mean, everything here has really been a temporary fix. And it's a 3 to 5 year project plan for DOT's contractors to come in and rebuild our bridges, our big bridges. Now, private roads and bridges, like I said, over 300.
Yeah. Um,
And that's been a serious, serious problem.
how much support has your effort received from state or federal funding?
We don't qualify for any state or federal funding, so we've not received anything.
That's just so mind-blowing stuff.
I mean,
Just
instead of
blows
getting
my
mad
mind.
about it, I think the
Yeah.
best way to process it is that it's a blessing because the state and federal, they have, they
Strings.
lots of red tape, lots of strings, lots of hoops to jump through. And I don't like people telling me what to do. I mean, that's what it boils down to. And so I don't want them telling me who to help and how to help and who can qualify to receive help. They're really good. A lot of organizations are really good at labeling and putting people in boxes. And for us, these are our neighbors.
Yeah.
These are our neighbors, these are our friends, and we have to help them where they need it, how they need it. So us being small and able to be that flexible has really been a blessing. So we were able to meet the needs of our neighbors.
Um, how you shared with us on the other platform. One of the awesome things that Steph and the organization Rebuilding Hollers, come hell or high waters, that has an incredible logo. You can see here, I was gifted this hat from a dear friend, Miss Stephanie.
It's a great
Um,
hat.
but they have all kind of merchandise with this logo, and I know I've personally encountered folks over in the Knoxville area wearing I think it was hoodies or sweatshirts, but they've been selling this merchandise. How much did you tell us that you had raised?
We sold in 2025, we sold $122,000 worth of merchandise.
That's just incredible.
Yeah. And
From
it
all over.
pays, yeah, all over the country. And it pays our overhead, right? So we have a complex now. We have offices, we have a small warehouse for building materials, we have a 2 acre back lot for building materials, and we have respite condos above us where our neighbors can come and have showers, do their laundry, just take a break, kind of set up like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Um, and so that pays for all of that. It pays for all of our overhead and still allows us to have money left over for our projects. And that's how we started with our projects. Is I sold a bunch of hoodies and raised $10,000, and I went to the hardware store and I said, I I have $10,000 and I need to buy building materials. So yeah, our merch has been incredible.
Um, if you would share with folks how you got your local high school VOTEC, I believe,
Yeah. So
involved in this effort. This is awesome.
yeah, so we partnered with Mountain Heritage Construction Technology Program. They are a really cool, it's our local high school, and they have a 10,000 square foot facility on the campus that is focused on construction technology. So how to build from masonry to stick build. They even have a heavy equipment section, and they're building a new HVAC and electrical section. So I'm really proud of our technology program here in Yancey County. And so I met the director of the program, Mr. Jim, and the instructor, Jeremy Dotz, in about December, which I knew Jeremy from before. We're about the same age and we have daughters the same age. And so I knew of him. And Jim had come to the parking lot and where we were giving out building materials. And he said, this was back when people were still trying to send us tiny houses, but ultimately they were tractor sheds, right? But they were calling them tiny houses.
Hmm.
And he says, can we build you tractor sheds? And I said, but Jim, don't y'all build houses, small houses at the high school? He said, well, yeah, we built 18 of them. I said, well, then let's build houses. And he said, well, Steph, we don't have any funding for that. Nobody will give us the money to buy those building materials to build a house. And I said, all right. I was feeling brave, right? I just raised the money selling the shirts. And I said, I'll find the money to buy the building materials. Y'all start building. We're going to do this. And so we did within a couple weeks. We had them funded for buying, all the materials they needed to build the first house. It is the living space in it is 33 feet long by 16 feet wide and had like vaulted ceiling, like A-frame ceilings with a
Hmm.
loft. So really cool space. And we just kept going. And now our second house is getting ready to be delivered at the 1st of March, and we'll be starting on our third house in March. So
Wow.
it has really been incredible. And these kids, they're seniors in high school, and they are working on a 3-year. It's like a 3-hour honors class. So they're in the facility for 3 hours, and they build anywhere from 16 to 18 students. This year we have 2 girls in there, and they're awesome. So it's been an incredible partnership to connect with them. And last year, 2 of the seniors ended up coming to work for one of our general contractors. So they were
Great.
part of the team that built the house, and then they were part of the real world team that finished the house. And so that's been really cool.
In total, uh, if you know, about how much has uh, everything to, let's say, the end of 2025, about how much funding has been through the Rebuilding Hollers. And I know 100% of every dollar goes back out the door to help the community,
So
which
we
is
raised in
phenomenal.
in 2025, we raised $1.6 million dollars.
That's
And
incredible.
in 2025, we spent 1.3 million of that buying building materials and paying our local subcontractors. So we were able to complete the needs or meet the needs of about 552 projects. And about 10 of those, a lot of times we're not the primary, so maybe we don't build the whole house, but we provide the shingles or we provide the flooring or the sheetrock or the siding, kind of whatever the homeowner needs.
You
That's
need
how
the
we try
effort.
to help them, whatever bill they need me to pay or whatever part of their bill that they're kind of stuck on. So we've gotten over 10 families home, and I think we're at like 5 or 6 businesses that we've gotten fully reopened. And these are from complete loss to complete done. But overall, we've met the needs of 152 of our neighbors. So
Wow.
our list is getting smaller. We still have people come in every day asking for help. But with we've still got a lot going on. I've still got like 42 full rebuilds on the list. 19 of those are in progress. So some have wrapped up and are finished, and now we have more starting. So we are in all phases of construction here. On Project 510, they're laying the block. On Project 32, they're building the road. on project number 3. They're in their electrical. Project number 9, they're doing trim work, so they're almost finished. But project number 8 is still in siding. So I have them in all phases of construction.
What one of the things we've talked about um, last week on Zoom. Um, when I was down at Hampton and Elk Mills Pogo, something that's part of the relief, if you will, the relief effort that we were doing, and I know you shared that you're doing too every day, that no one really talks about, and that is the psychological side of the folks who may have lost everything. They may have lost a loved one. They just may be strapped and they don't know where to go. And that is listening and giving hugs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're doing that a lot.
Yeah, we give a lot of hugs out here. We've been very thankful for our partnership with Hope for NC, and they have sponsored to have someone here with us every day, Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, that also offers emotional support. And so,
Okay.
we definitely have people that come in that are not okay. They've hit a wall, or a year and a half in, they're like, what the hell? When's it going to be my turn? I mean,
Yeah.
their patience is running out, as it
Sure.
should. I mean, it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's so important to know the different signs and symptoms. We have Kim here. I was crazy about her. I'm so thankful that she's here to help me. It's very, very, a lot of times you'll hear here, well, how does that make you feel? Because sometimes just processing those feelings is a big deal. We all get in our feelings about how to help and what to do. And so, it's most important to me that our neighbors that received and experienced significant loss, they have a place to go that knows we care about them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's as simple as they go to get something and then they remember, that life's getting back to normal, and then they remember, oh yeah, I lost that item in the storm, or I lost this, or I don't have that. And so I always tell them, let the next thought be, well, let me just stop to the Hollers and see if they have it. Because it's hard when you've lost everything, and you have to replace everything. A lot of people are going without because it's incredibly expensive, especially my guys that like lost their wood shops. I mean, you're talking those old saws and systems, they could have been their pawpaws.
Yeah.
Those tractors were their granddaddy's tractors, and now they're gone. And so it's really hard to keep them positive, and keep thinking about ways to try to replace those items for them.
Um, yeah, it's the emotional side of that. And you know, you never know when you're going to encounter it. It may be them coming down to where you are, or you're out and about.
My phone could ring today. I mean, it's going to
Yeah.
happen at least 5 times today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But the key is to recognize that, like, one of my projects really, I went to see him a couple weeks ago, and I could just tell in his spirit he was hitting a wall. Like he was exhausted. He is tired. He's making slow progress, but for him, it's slow progress because it's him. He's the one rebuilding his property. And so he was hitting a wall, and I said, please let me send a crew. Please let me send somebody to help you that will continue to, do great work.
yeah.
And so we had, of course, a couple weeks of bad weather. And so my crew's been there with him all this week. And yesterday I got to see him, and his whole spirit was just bursting with happiness. He's like, they're amazing. I've got so much done. I'm feeling good about it again, because they're seeing progress to be made. And that's what we have to keep pushing forward. That's why we have to keep hiring locally,
Right.
because if volunteers come, which I could get on another spiel about volunteers, but it's going to be staged. It's only
Right.
going to be certain times, a week here, a week there, always a different crew. And we can't rebuild like that. We have to rebuild steady, constant, every single day, with people that know what they're doing.
Right.
And so, you know, it,
Accountability and control of who's out in the workspace.
that's right. And I know I can trust these guys. I mean, they every time that they're on another job, I know that they're doing right by their neighbor. And so it's pretty cool.
One of the things that has really stuck with me from working over in the Tennessee side in Carter County, and you and I conversed in last week on this. That's really, really every day it kind of sticks with me in thought is the times you least expect it that the God things happen. You know, when you're stuck or you need something, whether it's resources or people, and just out of the blue, um,
All the
yeah,
miracles.
it's
Yeah,
like,
we
God, I can't do this on my own. Help me. And and
yeah,
and also just, when you're having rough days and you've been up for 30 plus hours and you're
yeah,
kind of at your wits end, and you just kind of say your personal prayer or have a personal conversation with the Lord, and it's like boom.
there.
And
It's so cool. The miracle moments have been what keep us going. It's been, it started in the parking lot on day one. We would run out of something and then it would show up. God put it on somebody's heart to bring it. I've been down to our last pennies and need the material for a project. And I'll be driving to work and say, okay, God, you know the need. I have to have the money to do this. And then it shows up. I mean, it's happened so many times. It's quite incredible.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
So,
is.
yeah.
And um like with many other things, the news covered it, and the media covered it, and then they're gone. But
Right.
the work continues. The people still are in need, and there's those like yourself who are trying to move things along to help get things back to some level of being normal for people, that
Yeah.
they can have the comforts of running water and having a flushing toilet and a roof over their head and
Right.
so on and so forth. But you can't do it by yourself. It's
Right.
dependent. And in the beginning, I mean, there were thousands of people just showing up out of nowhere with loads and loads and loads of heaters and cook stoves and so on and so forth. But uh, it's been 18 months,
Yeah.
right? And the needs are still there. And
Mhm.
that's why I wanted to try to get with you, is to uh, kind of talk to you, and what are I know one of your big needs is continued funding.
Yes.
Nothing moves without funding. And one of the things you have had in the past that you have upcoming again is you have a big raffle.
Yes.
Um,
So we can, as a nonprofit, we can do 4 raffles a year. And so our first raffle this year, we try to listen to what everybody wants. Last year we gave away 2 Jeeps. We raffled off 2 Jeeps. We were able to raise $77,000 for our program to keep paying for materials and paying local laborers. And so a lot of people were saying, Steph, you should do an ATV. You should do an ATV. So we got a brand new Kawasaki T-Rex 800 SLE. And we're selling raffle tickets for $20. So they wanted an ATV and they wanted it to be affordable. And so we're super excited about that. We're praying to sell 5,000 tickets. We need to sell a lot of tickets, but that could raise us another $100,000 to continue our efforts. So no matter what, your money's going to help our neighbors. So you can feel good in purchasing a raffle ticket, enter to win an amazing brand new off the showroom floor, side by side. And even if you don't win, your $20 went to help our neighbors, and that we are doing whatever it takes to get them home. So yes.
or you can buy more. You can buy merchandise,
Yes,
or
merch.
you can make just a straight up donation if you want to do so.
Yes.
Um,
And we also accept appreciated stock. So that's also helpful.
awesome.
Yeah. Um, and then we also accept in-kind donations. So the other day I received a really cool call from Georgia. One of the manufacturers down there has 6 18-wheeler loads of sheetrock. And so I'm crazy excited about that because sheetrock is so expensive.
Yeah.
But I also don't have a place for 6 18-wheelers of sheetrock. But I do have 5 houses coming up that are going to need sheetrock. So they're going to help me stage it in a way where I can get an 18-wheeler load, get those into those homes, and then when I'm ready for the next load, they'll bring it. So we also accept, shingles, siding, any kind of construction related new materials.
Um, and the link, I'll show the raffle poster here in a second. The link for all this is on the flyer
Yes.
that we'll show.
Yeah.
Um, and you have an event coming up soon. Is it in Charlotte?
We actually have a couple things coming up. So this next week we'll be in Greensboro at the Greensboro Auto Auction. So we're so thankful that the George Shin Foundation has donated one of his private collection cars to the GAA, and we are the charity car. And
Sweet.
so folks from all over North Carolina and Tennessee that go to this classic auto auction will hopefully help us raise money. We're excited to be there to tell them about Rebuilding Hollers, about our neighbors, about the construction process. And hopefully we will. I'm praying hard. I'm praying so hard for $1 million.
Oh, that would be
I need
what a
it.
blessing.
It would be huge. We could get so much done. And then so that's next week, February 19th through the 21st, will be in Greensboro. And then May 23rd, which is Memorial Day weekend, we will have our annual Jeep into the Hollers event
Yeah,
here in Burnsville. And that's really exciting because we all of our local small businesses will be participating. We'll have a really cool car show. We'll have an amazing silent auction. And it's just all about getting my community all together to come out and participate and inviting people from all over the country to come back and see us now. Come see the mountains. We'll have self-guided tours throughout the community so they can go to some of the stores we've rebuilt because we still need people to come. It is hard to see some of our destruction, but it's also healing that people will continue coming. We desperately need folks to say, let's go ride to the mountains again.
yeah,
Because before the storm, they did that a lot. And they did it immediately after the storm and brought us help. And now we still need them to come because them coming and even just spending 20 or $30 in our community is a big deal.
sure.
It lets us know we're not alone. And because sometimes this is a very lonely process.
And recently, you all were noted in the one of the number one selling magazines in America.
Yeah, that was great. That was another God moment. We Women's World Magazine did a two-page article on us and our partnership with Mountain Heritage Construction Technology Program. So that was such a blessing.
Yeah. And then you're going to be on a TV show coming up.
So yeah, we were on This Old House a few months ago, and next up is we filmed with Mike Rowe. So we're super excited to see what Mike's putting together for us.
Okay. Um, well, let me throw that flyer up real quick here. There it is. There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
Can you see that?
Yeah, see it good.
Okay. So you can see here, this is the raffle where you can get your tickets. Uh, $20 a ticket, or you can get five, buy five and get one free.
Yeah.
Everyone likes free, right?
Yeah, we love free. We love free. And like I said, it's brand new, 0 miles. You can come here if you're local in Yancey or Mitchell County. You can come by. We have it here for folks to see it. And we'll be pulling that winning ticket on Friday, March the 20th, on our live podcast at Rebuilding Hollers.
Um, and I would encourage folks to also go to your website
Yes.
and go look at some of the photos of all of the progress that's being made. It's incredible.
Yes. I keep updates on the social media. We do weekly podcasts so that people can hear about some of our projects and what we have going on. We want to be so transparent and show people what we're doing with their money and how we're rebuilding our community with it.
Yeah. Well, Steph, I've kidnapped you for 35 minutes.
Hey, but you're in the office with me, so it's perfect. Thank you so much.
Well, we thank you for your time and for sharing the story of where you've been and where you're headed. And I would encourage again, folks, that want to support your effort. You can reach out through the information that was on the flyer. If you can't figure it out, you can reach out to me and I can connect you. But let's do everything we can to help the folks in Yancey and Mitchell County and Miss Stephanie.
Thank
So,
you.
Steph, God bless you, and God bless all your helpers and all your people in the counties. And we'll continue keeping contact and supporting you ever how we can do.
Thank you so much, Butch. I appreciate you having me on your show, and thank you for telling people about us.
Yeah,
We're very thankful for all of y'all's help.
not a problem. You be blessed. Have a happy Valentine.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.